In today's Leeds news, under 21s in action. Jamie Shackleton's future discussed. Cody Drameh set to leave Leeds. Paraag Marathe will be the primary Leeds United owner. And Abde Ezzalzouli linked with move to Leeds. Morning, folks. Jay here at The View on Monday, the 17th of April. I hope we've all had a lovely weekend. A huge day for Leeds United in terms of the relegation fight. Results of the weekend kind of went their way to a degree, and any kind of result tonight will be very beneficial for Leeds heading into what will be probably the three biggest games in recent memory for Leeds United coming up after Liverpool. So not doing a preview today just because there's a lot to do and I've got to work today as well. I got tons of stuff to do, so I've got to get through some bits. But we do have some Leeds news and we're going to talk about some stories that were floating around over the weekend as well in case you didn't see them. We will start off and let's talk about real quick right out the gate. The Leeds United under 21s are in action against Stoke tonight, 7 p.m. The game will not be televised on LUTV as Leeds are in action themselves, the first team, and there is a TV ban on games being shown when a Premier League game is in action. First time Leeds have actually been in action when this has happened. However, it is at the Swansway Stadium and tickets are free on the gate if you want to go up and support the under-21s tonight. If you want to get some live action, it's kicking off at 7 p.m. So before the Leeds United first team fixture kicks off against Liverpool. So there's that one. Let's move on. Let's talk about Jamie Shackleton. And anyone who listens to the Phil Hay show would have heard his agent on talking over the weekend. Hayden Evans was joining the lads on the Phil Hay show this week. And I love listening to Hayden when he's on the channel. He gives you really good insight into what goes on with the agency that he's part of with Andy Gray as well and Richard Creswell. And he was talking about Jamie Shackleton as one of their players. And he said, Shack's, he's been out alone on Millwall all season. It's been an interesting time for Shackleton because he started off with the Millwall team in the starting 11, but playing at right back. He then moved back into midfield and kind of was in and out of the team, had some spells where he was doing well. Gary Rowe's been very complimentary about Shackleton. Jamie Shackleton's attitude always gets called out as being something that you should keep an eye on. He's said to have had a fantastic attitude. He works really hard in training, and he's never let anybody down the pitch. And when we've watched him playing for Leeds, always worked his backside off. So it's been a tricky one for him. He's only had 16 starts this season, but he has come off the bench an additional 18 times as well in all competitions for them. And his agent, Hayden Evans, was saying the following about him. It's probably something that we need to look at as finding a permanent move away from Leeds. He needs to be starting games, and he's good enough. The quality he has not diminished in any way. It's a shame. I actually always thought Jamie Shackleton would be the long-term successor to our right-back problem, seeing how well he did play for Leeds. When he did play right-back, he got pace. He reads the game quite well. He's a good, solid passer for the ball. But unfortunately, that's not been the case. And he's got 1 year left on his deal at the end of this season. And it looks likely, for all intents and purposes, that Shackleton will move on. It could just be a case that Garcia could have a look at him, maybe see him as a right-back. You don't know, but Shaq's a good player for me. He always gives everything, Shame that he's moving on. Or could be moving on, I should say. Speaking of players who could be moving on, Cody Drameh, there's some mixed information floating around, but over the weekend, the Yorkshire Evening Post reported that Drameh looks set to leave Leeds at the end of the season. The 21-year-old is looking for more opportunities or more first-team opportunities away from Leeds. He's having a successful loan spell at Luton. He's doing pretty well down there again. He's had another good weekend under his belt against Rotherham. But has failed to break into the Leeds starting 11 under two previous managers, under Jesse Marsch and under Marcelo Bielsa. And it looks as if he could be looking for a way out himself. Rich Romano also put out a tweet this weekend saying that Leeds are looking to offload Drameh at the end of the season. He'll have 1 year left on his contract at Leeds at the end of this season as well. So it could just be a case of, for all the parties involved, a split is needed. Drameh did go through something similar like this at Fulham when he came to Leeds in the first place, and it looks like it's going to happen a second at a time. Side note on just something I wanted to remember. Today is the anniversary of Norman Budgerlegs Hunter, and I thought the Leeds social media team have done a brilliant job in a tribute to Norman today, lining up with the Liverpool game, and it's a fantastic image done by the social team. I just thought, given the date that's in it, they've done a really bang up job on this, and well done. I really like that. Well done. And now let's move on to the main story. We've got two smaller stories after this, but the main one today is a story around Paraag Marathe and the 49ers takeover of Leeds. They explained the background of this again. 49ers Enterprises, who everybody knows are not the 49ers, but 49ers Enterprises is the umbrella group that owns the 49ers, along with all the investment bits that they have as well. Leeds United would fall under that arm as well. What the 49ers Enterprises are doing is creating an investment pool, which significant investors can come in, pull their money resources together, and then that part of the investment arm would look at doing the takeover of Leeds United. Pete Lowy is also said to be part of this consortium, or this investment pool, I should say. But Paraag Marathe very much at the front of this. And what has been said today, Bruce Schoenfield, who is with the Sports Business Journal, had been talking to Paraag, and he is the one that's breaking this story to say that Paraag Marathe is set to become the primary owner of Leeds United as the head of this group under the 49ers umbrella. Marathe himself, talking about it, has said, "We feel like we have a pretty good experience in running a sports organization." He is looking at taking the experience they've developed with the 49ers and bringing that into Leeds United. He's been called out quite recently in America about his, in a good way, about his negotiation skills and his ability to move their finances around and create space to bring in new players into the franchise, as well as, I suppose, function under very tight restrictions that they have in the NFL around money as well. He will have something similar to that, like that, to deal with in England around the financial fair play rules, but has been called out about his expertise in moving things around and negotiating certain contracts to spread the money out a bit longer. So be interesting to see how he gets on. It's getting very, very close to happening. We're looking at the end of the season. It's not far away now, so it could be a very big summer for Leeds, and it will be interesting to see what Paraag's initial comments will be when this actually does take place. So we'll look at it then. Moving on, and according to Sport in Spain, Abde Ezzalzouli has been linked with a move to Leeds. The Barcelona under 21-year-old player, who is currently on loan at Osasuna and has 3 goals and 2 assists in 21 appearances for them, is being lined up by Leeds. According to Sport, Barcelona and Javi rated the player incredibly highly. However, he is running out of contract, and the player is keen to explore options elsewhere. His agent apparently travelled to Leeds last week to meet with the club and discuss terms around a possible move. This is the second Barcelona under 21 player that Leeds have looked at, on top of the under 21 player Akumak, who has been linked apparently with a done deal for Leeds, but still hasn't been yet announced by Leeds. So not a huge amount of more detail in there, but another attacking player. Not a massive amount of goals, another one for the future. I think Leeds are looking at bringing in players as they start to recycle players through. They could also just be stockpiling some new players for additional revenue, selling them on, but we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But Leeds will need to make some big moves if they remain in the Premier League this summer, around getting an experienced number 9 in who can score consistent goals in the Premier League. So that's going to be the big one. As I said, tonight's massive game for Leeds. If we can get anything against Liverpool, puts us in a really good position going into the biggest 3 games of our season, I believe. Let me know what you think in the comments. It'd be interesting to see. All right, folks, I will leave it at that, and I will see you back here tomorrow morning with some form of review of the game tonight, as well as whatever news is floating around tomorrow morning. See you then. Have a great day. Bye.